Please turn with me now to the New Testament, where we're reading the end of Matthew chapter 2. Jesus has been born in Bethlehem. The wise men have come and worshipped him. Herod has sought to destroy him, and so the Lord directed Joseph in a dream to take Mary and Jesus to Egypt. There he stayed until Herod the Great, that murderous king, was dead. We take up the reading now in verse 19. But when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, Arise, take the young child and his mother, and go to the land of Israel, for those who sought the young child's life are dead. Then he arose, took the young child and his mother, and came into the land of Israel. But when he heard that Archelaus was reigning over Judea instead of his father Herod, he was afraid to go there, and being warned by God in a dream, he turned aside into the region of Galilee. And he came and dwelt in a city called Nazareth, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophets, He shall be called a Nazarene. And may the Lord bless these words to us. So Herod died in the course of time, maybe 2 years later. So we have the angel then reappearing, again in a dream, to Joseph in Egypt, and instructing him to return again to the land of Israel. Now the instruction wasn't that he should return to Bethlehem, and in fact he warned him subsequently in a dream not to go into Judea, where Archelaus, the son of Herod the Great, was reigning, but rather he turned aside then and went to Nazareth in the territory of Galilee. Now Nazareth was the city of Mary, while Bethlehem was the city of Joseph. And so moving to Nazareth would have been a reasonable place. There were connections there for the family, because of Mary had connections in that city. A hill city, it's quite a large city today, with a Jewish and an Arab quarter in it, a very strong society. But in those days it was just a small hilltop village in Galilee, not too far from the Sea of Galilee, but really quite out of the way, a backwater place. And subsequently the word would be said, could anything good come out of Galilee? It's really a way out of the place, insignificant place. We're now told that they dwelt there until the time of his revelation. When we move into chapter 3, we'll find that Matthew presents Jesus baptized. But what happened in that intervening period? Luke tells us a little bit of those details. Joseph worked as a carpenter, and Jesus was obedient to his parents. More children were born. There were at least 4 brothers and 2 sisters born to Mary and Joseph in Nazareth. Jesus was a very diligent child in studying the scriptures, for Luke tells us that at the age of 12, when his family took him up to Jerusalem with them, that he stayed behind to quiz those who understood the scriptures best in the temple. And they were amazed at his understanding of the scriptures, as he asked very perceptive questions concerning some of the issues that the Old Testament raises. And some of these things would no doubt the prophecies concerning himself. As he read the scriptures, he understood what his call and purpose was as the Messiah of Israel. But yet he was obedient to his parents. He grew up putting into practice the life that God called his people to live. And so when it came to his public presentation to the nation, first of all by John the Baptist, that the word would come from God, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." He grew in character and in physical strength, but he was obedient and submissive to his parents. He was the ideal godly young man in the years that he grew up, not full of ambition, not full of disobedience, but seeking to please the Lord in all that he did. In that way he is a model for all of us to fulfil. But Matthew skips over all of those details. He has been born King of the Jews. He has escaped the destructive plan of Herod. He has retreated to a quiet backwater place that he might grow up incognito, without the corrupting influences of the modern world at that time, but to have a strong personal relationship with God, waiting for the day when he would be revealed to the nation of Israel.